Welcome back to the cooler, everybody. This is Mark the Shark with Japan.S.3 Operation Skyhook. That's the summer of 1940. Panzer King asked me to do a recruitment roll for him for the CCP, which I'll do when I move around the table. First off, for the production, the Japanese had 46 to spend after all the convoying that was done to them by every party in the world, just about. They'll be purchasing 11 infantry for a total of 33, 3 militia for a total of 6, and they will complete a heavy cruiser for 5. That spends all of their 46 that are available for them to spend. Now I'll move it over here, get that where we can see it. I'll get the recruitment roll out of the way for the CCP. That's a 9. That's no go for the CCP on the recruitment roll. Okay. Japanese are going to go for long range aircraft. 2. That's a big miss. And wartime economy. And another 2. Another big miss. So the Japanese do not advance on wartime economy or long range aircraft. I'll get it back over here, where hopefully everything can be seen. I think that should get just about everything on the map we need to have on the map. If somebody can't see something, you can call and complain about me later. A lot of people do. Okay, I'm going to get the combat moves out of the way for the Japanese. Because even with that huge U.S. Pacific fleet over there poised to strike and destroy me to my very foundations, I'm still going to go down fighting. So, the first combat move in SNLF from Calcutta is going to move into Benares. Second combat move, the light carrier with a fighter and a destroyer are going to move from this sea zone 1, 2, and drop off an SNLF that gets picked up on that destroyer in Maharashtra. So that'll be a fighter and a SNLF going into Maharashtra. Next, one destroyer from Sea Zone 56. This destroyer right here. It's going to pick up an infantry. And with the use of that port right there, he's going to go 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And drop off the infantry in Hawaii. Because somebody left Hawaii completely open and undefended. And now I'll turn the page. Destroyer in 38 going on escort duty. I put that under him so I'd remember to do that. Where we at? 2 subs in 67. Going to go in here to Sea Zone 68, and they're going to both go on convoy duty right there to convoy that the Manila line, which is worth 3. I figure between the 2 of them, maybe I can do 3 damage. Medium bomber from Borneo. 1, 2, 3 is going to fly down there and attack that transport and that destroyer. And lastly but not leastly, this strategic bomber on Hainan Island. 1, 2, and will bomb that major port in Cochin, China. So, I'll go down through the list. Nothing so major that I need to bring out put everything on the battle board, I don't think. Okay, the SNLF from Calcutta to Benares is a walk-in, so the Japanese will go up 1 and be at 46. I'm sorry, I'm putting a Japanese flag on Benaries, so I don't forget to do that later. The light carrier and the destroyer with an SNLF. So the carrier, of course, does not take part in the battle, but the fighter does. It will be 6 or less. 12, that's a big miss. And the SNLF is at 3 or less. 11, that's a miss. And the militia defends at a 2 or less. And he got an 11 too, so we'll go back to the fighter at a 6 or less. 7, great. And the SNLF now at 2 or less. I can't tell. Oh, that's a 1, yes. Big hit. Yay. A little bit sorry about the shadow. That's a 1. Hopefully everybody can see that's a 1. Now the militia will defend at a 2 or less. And that's a 5, so that battle was a success. Hopefully that's in the board there. That battle was a success, so the militia will die in Misharasta. I don't know how anybody says that if they're not from there. And the Japanese will take that and go up 1 more for taking that. Now let me see, make sure, look at what I'm doing here. On the piece of paper. Okay. Next up will be the destroyer in Sea Zone 38, which it's going on escort duty, but it won't matter unless the sub convoys again. So, but it was considered a combat move. 2 subs in 67, moved to 68 to convoy. Red is going to be the Japanese, black is going to be the Allies. We'll see what happens here. 2 plus 2 is 4 versus 1. That's 4 minus 1 is 3, so that convoy line is maxed out with 3 damage. I'll just mark that on that convoy line on the map. So the US will lose 3. Don't even need to roll for the other sub. Okay, the medium bomber in Borneo. 3 spaces to Sea Zone 141, where it's going to attack the transport and the destroyer. So, medium bomber at 7 or less. And a 1. A 1. That is a target select. And all things considered, I'm going to target select the transport. No, I'm not. I'm going to target select the destroyer. That way if it doesn't hit me, I can take out the transport. So now the transport at a 4 or less to defend. Not the transport, but the destroyer at a 4 or less to defend. 12, that's a big miss. So it's an auto kill on the transport since I took out the destroyer with my target select, which he would have had to take the destroyer anyway because you have to lose a transport last in combat. So those 2 ships are gone. And what's next? Strategic bomber is going to strat bomb the major port in Cochin, China. So that's 2 6-sided die for strat bombing damage. And for a total of 6 damage. I don't know how much a port can take, but it's going to cost somebody 6 to get it back in some state of repair where it can be used again. Six orange chips I'll put down on that port so everybody knows it is out of commission at the moment. Okay. put a roundel on Hawaii. The Japanese take it. They'll go up to 48. And they took Mahashastra or Maharashtra, however you say that. That's worth 1. So the Japanese income total will be at 49 for the territories they possess. I think everything can be seen for the non-combat moves. Okay, fighter and 2 tactical bombers from Hainan Island are going to go. There's 2 tactical bombers and a fighter. 1, 2, 3, 4, and land right there where they can use that air base. And that's that taken care of. Now, fighter on map in C-Zone 89. This right here is going to land on Formosa in non-combat. Destroyer from C-Zone 122, right down here, is going to zip up to C-Zone 89. 1, 2. The destroyer from C-Zone 89 is going to go up here in C-Zone 38. He's going to pick up a mountain infantry on his way, and he's going to place a mountain infantry in Hokkaido. Need to get an infantry and a brown chip to set there because I've got places for the next one to go to, I think, here on my list. One of these days I'll be totally prepared. Probably not. But I'll keep trying. Okay. That is the mountain infantry that was just a chip. Okay. Torpedo boat destroyer from C-Zone 88. That's this fella right here. It's going to move up into C-Zone 89. The fleet carrier, 2 battleships, battle cruiser, 3 transports, 2 light cruisers, 3 heavy cruisers, all from C-Zone 87 right here. We use the major port there in Calcutta. 1, 2, 3, and end up all up there in C-Zone 89. So that whole fleet, along with the destroyer and a destroyer or torpedo boat destroyer, is now in C-Zone 89. Let's see. Destroyer from C-Zone 122 to 89. Destroyers from C-Zone 89 to 38 already got. Okay, and then that was the fleet that I moved. And the destroyer that was sitting here in C-Zone 38 already is going to pick up that other mountain infantry and move him to Korea. Just so that American fleet doesn't have a nice, easy landing spot anywhere. There's landing spots they could make, but you know how it goes. Trying to make it as hard on them as possible. Okay. 3 infantry and an artillery from Kyushu. That was a militia that was on there. 3 infantry and an artillery from Kyushu are going to move to Honshu. Leaving 1 SNLF down there. And there's also an SNLF left in Tokyo. So that brings me to the place units phase of the game. So for the production, 1 infantry will go in Calcutta. 1 militia will go in Calcutta. 1 militia in Hokkaido. Right up there. Got 5 infantry in Tokyo. 5 infantry in Tokyo. So there's 5 infantry and an SNLF in Tokyo. And we will put there's a militia that goes in Honshu. Kyushu, Honshu, right up here. I've got that I'm supposed to put down 5 infantry in Kyushu and complete the heavy cruiser, but I believe with the way I have to do that, I'm going to have to put 1 of those infantry over in Rihi, simply because I don't believe I can. I'll have to take 1 of those off the stack, put 4 infantry down here, and put a regular infantry up here in Rihi at that minor factory. That way everything is totally legal and above board. And I'll place that right there. That's the heavy cruiser in C-Zone 38. So C-Zone 38 has 2 destroyers, and a 3rd destroyer that's on escort duty, a heavy cruiser. C-Zone 89 has a torpedo boat destroyer, a destroyer, 3 transports, a fleet carrier with a tactical and a fighter, 3 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, a battle cruiser, and 2 battleships. And C-Zone 85 has a light carrier with a fighter and a destroyer. That's that shipyard that Ozark built. And since he moved his capital to there, I guess he loses his bank again, once again to the bank. My income is up to 49. Plus the possession of Borneo, Java, that's 4 more. Hawaiian Islands, that's 6 more. And possession of Shantung, Hunan, Kwangtung, Peking, and Hong Kong. Those are 1 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 6, so 11 plus 49 will put my income for this next round at 60. Which I'm sure those darn submarines will take away a whole bunch of that. But the U.S. will go down 2 for the loss of Hawaii, and I convoyed them for 3, so I won't feel quite as bad about myself when they destroy me. So, thanks guys. See you next time.